Okay, so that's
Rolling.
Oh no!
So where we began last time was at the end of your previous fetch quest. Thea and Eric were kind of helping to do some research with Eden.
right.
And you guys found out that Scylla's group had been in the gaggle that got compromised. Um, do you does somebody else want to do the recap, or would you like me to? A lot of it was combat, some important combat, but
Yeah, with the tree things.
yeah.
Uh, I don't
Oh, I
think
like
I
the
can.
background.
I
No
don't know that
worries.
I can either.
I will go through. That's the danger of doing it once a month, man.
Yeah.
I will go through what I re-listened to, and if you guys remember tidbits that are important, you can add them in as we go through. Um, so we did start back at the ranch at the Palace of the Crystal Spades. You guys, um, Thea and Eric were helping Eden go through. Oh, that might be a useful thing. Do you guys want to introduce your characters to player Jody, even though character of Jody shall not be integrating just yet? Um, would you like to describe your character? Give him a few notes about your character so that he kind of knows who he's dealing with here.
Oh gosh, I have to remember what I have to remember what Teffin looks like right now.
You had taken on some of the form of the NIMBY.
Yeah, but big.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
you've changed
Okay.
back since, so you're still
It,
kind of mousy.
yeah. Okay. So Teffin currently is sort of a humanoid, um, sort of dwarvish, but not really because there's some mousy features going on. Like the face is a little bit longer than a dwarf would be, a little bit more pointed. The ears have kind of rounded out and stand out a little bit. Um, he's often wearing like a tool belt and a set of armor under his workman's clothes. Um, the breastplate of the armor has like a gem set into the center of the breastplate. He's got he's got a sort of an ornate silver ring on one hand. Trying to think what else. What else? And when I say he's got tools, he's got like pretty much any tool you can think of. There's also a cart, but we won't go into the cart just yet, or Quimby the horse. But yeah, he is obviously someone who does a lot of work with his hands, and we will leave
And
Teffin at
sleeps in a
that.
bucket.
And
Well,
sleeps in a
we'll
bucket.
we'll leave Teffin at that. The rest of it will be revealed in the fullness of time.
Thea, you want to introduce? Well, Reagan, do you want to introduce Thea? There we go.
Thea is a drow. She is very, very tall. With, they give her white hair. Yeah, long white hair and purple eyes. She is, let's see, she is, I guess technically it's a warlock, but I say witch because she's a girly girl, you know.
And because she
And
uses all the kinds of magic.
she uses all kinds of magic. She works for Morpheus, the god of sleep, and she has this grimoire that she carries around and is constantly scribbling and drawing in it. And she helps write dreams for other people. Um, and it's kind of her mission is to just have these like experiences so she can write dreams and kind of prove herself worthy of Morpheus.
And Steven?
Okay, so I am playing Eden. Eden is a tiefling who recently found out that he is sort of succubus heritage, or incubus rather, heritage, and is still coming to terms with that. He is tall. He looks a relatively normal human for the most part. He has long red hair that he usually keeps bound up under a hat. He also has wings that he keeps hidden under a cape because he is somewhat ashamed of them. He is a bard who does a lot of performance, mostly with his. He's designed some sort of specialized armor that allows him to play a set of bells that are related to death. And his armor basically allows him to play them with a couple of strings that are embedded into his armor. What else is important about Eden? Yeah, that's Eden.
I don't know why, but for some reason your explanation brought to mind some kind of an odd take on Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, I can see that.
Maybe a wee bit.
I took inspiration from a book of series, or a series of books that the magic is done with the use of bells.
The
I can dig it.
Aberson series.
Yeah, Aberson, that's what it is. Really cool.
Yeah, he lent them to me, and they're amazing.
Speaking of books, I found out today, and I haven't been on Reddit to check, but I found out today that apparently there's a bookstore in one of the airports in Boston that has copies of Wind and
No.
Yes, they've got them out. They've been found in the
Uh-oh.
wild.
Oh dear.
Wind and Storms.
Wind and Truth?
Or Wind and
Truth.
Truth, yeah. Yeah, so they're out in the wild now. Spoilers are out all over the place.
We're Brandon Sanderson nerds.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Yeah, it was not supposed to release until December.
Yeah, like December 3rd, I think.
Yeah.
Was it 3rd or 6th?
I think it's 3rd.
I don't know.
I could be
Whenever
wrong, though.
Dragonsteel is.
Whenever Dragonsteel is.
I've heard really, really good things about his books. Just my TBR list is
Too long.
300 miles long. Like I won't even ever make a dent in it.
I understand that in my soul. He is definitely worth reading. I would start with Mistborn instead of Stormlight Archives. Like, I had to try 4 or 5 times to get through Way of Kings successfully because it's just so...
For Reagan, I think I would start with Warbreaker.
Ooh. Yeah.
That's fair. That makes sense.
I've not heard of that one.
Having gotten to know Reagan a little bit, that's where I would start her if she was going to start with Sanderson.
Fair enough.
I will add that to my ever-growing TBR.
TBR, yes. And then with somebody... Oh, sorry.
If you don't have the King Killer series on your to-read list, that needs to be on there as well.
King Killer? Okay.
But
Patrick Rothfuss.
But it's not a finished series.
And I doubt it ever will be at this point.
Let me put it this way. I read the second book. We're still waiting for the third. Before Beth and I got married. 10 years ago.
Yeah. So it's...
Oh.
If you're a
I don't think it's
completionist,
ever
it might
gonna
not be
get-
the series for you.
Yeah. It's
This
really
is why
good.
I
Like,
won't
it's well
read Game
written.
of Thrones. Because I'm going to wait till he finishes it. If he ever
Waiting
does, and then I'll read it.
Forever.
Yeah. So I would not start King Killer Chronicles. You'll get really attached to the first 2 books, and you're just going to wait forever for the last one.
I mean, it's really good. Like, they're very
That's
well
true.
written.
Yes.
But-
They are incredibly well written. In fact, they're probably part of the source of inspiration for the series or the system I'm working on. Truthfully,
Cool.
That's cool. Okay. Would someone like the honors of describing Paul?
Paul is a short stack of chaos. He is what is he? He's a
gnome.
gnome barbarian with this great big axe that he throws over his shoulder and it drags on the ground behind him.
I think he's mostly using the sword now.
Now, yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay. So
The
he doesn't
sword
have
is
yeah.
yeah, he still has the axe, but he's mainly using the sword. Which kind of sized to him, so it's not quite so awkward.
And
But
like a leopard print
leopard
cape,
loincloth.
right? Yeah.
Well, the leopard cape, yeah, and then he's got a loincloth, and
Right.
that's pretty much it
That's
as far
pretty
as
much
his
it.
clothing choices.
Yeah.
He's got probably the same intelligence as a bowl of rice.
I don't know. A bowl of rice at least has like bacteria with some like basic life-saving intelligence.
Indeed, indeed, that's fair.
We did learn last episode, or at least Teffin learned last episode, that Paul can actually talk to animals. All this
Yes.
time, I didn't
But-
realize he could.
His intelligence is so low that he thinks that everyone can talk to animals.
Yes.
yeah.
Because he can.
Yep. So
Okay.
on the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, you guys had finished your most recent fetch quest. There was more research being done for Eden, trying to figure out how to control the strange, charismatic magnet that is the incubus lineage for Eden, so that he could figure out how to have a healthier relationship with Scylla. Eden finally figured out that Eric was Ren's son. After a long period of not knowing that. Let's see, what else happened? Yeah, you guys got to catch up with Scylla, who had been injured in their part of the fetch quest. There are 3 different groups going for different phylacteries. I accidentally Harry Pottered the party instead of Scooby doing it. So there, I didn't mean to Horcrux it, but effectively there are several different phylacteries hidden around places. Not that Harry Potter is the first place that has happened in history. But they are all looking for the phylacteries of Koschei the Deathless, who they accidentally, much earlier, let out from his confinement, and are now having to deal with the ramifications of that. One of the teams that was outside of our party was found out as the people at the castle have been interrogating others to see if they can figure out where the information leak came from. So there were some interrogations that happened last session. Let's see. Then you guys headed to the Black Mountains. Ren accompanied you. You found out that he is fluent in Renethri, which makes sense. And that while, if they needed a diplomat, Estiel would be a better person to come with, since this sounds like it might become more of a combat situation. And he still does have a good relationship with the Renethri colony. Ren was a better choice for this particular thing. I'm not sure if he caught it or not. Well, actually, I don't know if Eden cares or not. But he was informed that Ren and Callan they are usually not sent to dangerous places at the same time. Something about maintaining their health. I don't know that there is anything that is crossing Eden's mind to
Nope.
make him any more curious than that. So you guys went with Eric and Ren, and were attacked by effectively giant plant monsters, and Paul had a flashback in an inopportune time, tried to stop breathing and die, and a couple of you guys got real low on HP.
Yeah.
I know Paul was it you and Paul, Eden?
Yep. Yep, it was
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Paul
was-
came very close to dying.
Yes. And so now you are resting. I forget if this is a long rest or a short rest, but the spores took hold of you and freaked you out. You did eventually defeat the plants, and that is kind of where we left session off, was you guys settling in for a rest. It would be still early-ish in the day. You had hiked a while because they couldn't actually drop you into the anomaly with teleportation magic. It would be too dangerous. But yeah, there is now post-battle assessment happening. You have not gotten to where you intend on going yet. So there is still more to be done. Can anybody think of anything I left out?
I think that pretty well covers it. I forget.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything with our bunny friend, was there?
No. I mentioned Piff because I got the name mixed up with Ziffle for a minute, but your bunny friend is still safe theoretically, although he's still scratching at the door, hoping that someday he will be allowed on an adventure with Paul. Oh, Paul did take wine. There is now a padlock on the larders.
That's good.
That's probably for the best.
Yep. So there is now a padlock on the larders because Paul keeps taking wine.
So we will see how effective that padlock is soon.
Yep. You got to live through this encounter first, though. You still don't have the sphere that you came out here for. So
And
that
might be
is
a
where we
tall
left.
order for Paul.
That might be. As your DM, I would recommend using your hit dice. You're at least taking a short rest at the moment. And Ren is likely going to recommend that you rest for longer than that, but it is early in the day, so it'll kind of depend on what everybody else wishes to do.
You have to
So.
have you.
While we are resting, I'm going to do detect poison and disease on Paul to see if, I don't know, I have a lot of just random supplies in my bag. Maybe some sleepy time tea will help him.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
chamomile does wonders.
Woohoo! So detect poison and disease. I think that your poisoned state has ended at this point. So you would detect the traces of it. The spores definitely would have counted as an intoxication sort of a thing. He has definitely been chemically altered. It does seem as though it is fading now. All of these dead plant corpses around you.
I mean, I'm fine with taking a rest, but I think we have a long way to go still. Yes.
But we are currently at rest.
Yeah, doing a short rest.
Okay, I'm going to take the healing potion that I have.
Is that one of the questionable ones?
It is one of the questionable ones.
Yes.
Hold on, what state are you in? Are you conscious?
I'm conscious, but I am like.
But you're hurt?
Oh yeah, I'm
Okay.
bad. I have almost 100 hit points. At my best, I am in single digits.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, like we definitely need the
And
short
what's
rest.
funny is, it wasn't the damage that was killing me. So yeah. So
Or
I'm
was
gonna
it
take this
the
healing
poison?
potion.
I would like for you to roll me a D100, Jason, since this is one of the questionable healing potions.
Okay. And then this is a standard healing potion, right? So it's just is it
2d4 or 1d4 plus 2 or something?
1d4?
1d4 plus 4.
Let me look up standard healing potion real quick and make sure I remember what the heck that does. I think so. I think it's the d4 plus 4 standard healing potion. Oh, 2d4 plus 2.
That's what it is.
I was incorrect.
Okay. Well, very little hit points for that, but we'll see how much fun the results are.
Yes.
So, okay. All right. So that puts me. Okay, I'm at double digits again.
Good. That's at least
That's good.
a positive.
I
We're
rolled
doing
a
a short rest.
78 on percentile dice.
You rolled a what?
78. 78.
78. Huh. Out of nowhere, a glowing rope appears around you and restrains you.
Oh, it's the rope of truth or whatever.
Yep, you got the Wonder Woman lasso effect.
Okay.
Nice.
So I am restrained and on the ground.
Yes.
I don't even struggle against it. I just lay in the snow, staring up into the abyss.
That is fair. You know what? It doesn't actually say anything about how long this lasts.
Oh,
Huh.
It depends on how sadistic the DM is feeling at the current moment.
I feel like with this, I'm gonna keep it at least mildly doable, and we're gonna say that unless intervention occurs, that's gonna be an hour. So it could be worse, but it could be better.
Yeah, Paul's not
I mean,
going
we're doing
anywhere.
a short rest anyway, so.
Indeed.
To keep him warm in his loincloth.
Gonna see if Eric has anything that can help you out. Ren will take another healing potion out and hand it to you, realizing that you look real rough. How does Eden look right now?
I mean, he's down half, but he's technically fine.
He's better than Paul.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Tefan will sort of reach over and lay a hand on Eden's shoulder and cast Cure Wounds.
Ooh. Thank you.
For a total of 9 points back.
Okay.
How many people are still hurt?
Basic math. Me and Paul. I think basically we were the ones who got hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
not down any myself, so Tefan's
Ren
fine.
took some. Yeah, Ren took some, but you saw him magically heal somehow.
Okay.
His
stuff stitched back together.
While I'm laying there, in despair, am I able to use my hit dice or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you can use your hit dice.
Are you down that low?
Yeah.
I've got the mass cure. I can do it 2 times a day.
It's okay. I'll just do hit
No,
dice.
I'm doing the mass cures because Eden's hurt too.
Oh,
So
also,
I'll do
on top of any hit dice you use, you get an extra D8 because I'm going to do Song of Rest. While we're sitting here, I'll just play some.
I get a D8 for what?
Song of Rest.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So D12 and a D8. Me.
because this is like still the morning, right? Like we've got a whole day of adventuring.
Yeah,
Definitely
you've already
Yeah.
done some hiking, but you're probably like still just like late morning.
Okay.
7.
Okay, that's 13 back to... Okay.
8.
Okay, I'm only down 12 now. So,
Good deal.
I am, however, down to only 2 first-level spell slots. So...
oh, and yours are long rest only, aren't they?
Yep, and mine are long rest only. So I'm my getting a
Okay.
little dry here.
Over the time that I am down, like I start to look a lot better as the hour
Did you
passes.
use your hit dice?
Yeah, I just use my hit dice
All right.
because I got that extra ability with him giving me the VA.
Do you need the mass cure wounds or
I would save it.
hold on to that? Okay. I can do.
All
Okay.
right.
We didn't bring the cart with us, did we?
No,
No.
they wouldn't have fit through the bag.
Yeah. So, okay. So we are afoot.
Yes.
Hmm.
What you thinking? Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking about the song that Eden is going to play for everybody while we're here.
Oh, okay. Feel free to elaborate.
Okay, so he'll actually pull out his bells and sort of set them up during the short rest, and he'll actually play directly on the bells. I'm just gonna send it to everybody on that group chat. Streets, White Round. Okay, add to. Wait, no, share. Where's share? How many are you down, Jason?
What's that?
How many are you down?
Oh, I'm not down much now. I used like almost all my hit dice, and I'm almost back to max because of the extra.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So the song is called "Streets of Whiterun." He will just play that sort of quietly while everybody's resting.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, Paul does not try to get out of the rope. By the way, he's just it fades.
I
He's
figure
just
everybody's
going.
sort of content to let you be there too.
Yes. Like
Yeah.
if he's tied up, he's not creating more problems.
Exactly.
Not that this had anything to do with him creating a problem for a change, but yeah. So kind of going through, Ren will look at everybody's wounds, help dress some of them, things like that. Everybody take an extra 4 points of healing for his little minor things that he can do. So you get that. He has gone quite gruff. I mean, he's a gruff fellow anyway, but he has sort of stopped talking as much and is just very, very much in serious mode. So when he is communicating, it's largely in like little grunts and more sound effects, kind of Cro-Magnon style, than actual words, unless somebody asks him something that requires language to respond. He is very focused on the surroundings to see if anything else is going to be attacking, and finally kind of sits down as the hour gets closer to ending and kind of tense his fingers. There's a shorter climb if we wish to get there quicker. It is geographically more dangerous, but our way will be clearer of enemies. What do you prefer? How confident are you on your feet?
how much distance would we be saving ourselves, do you think?
Potentially, we'd cut the distance about 3 miles.
That might be worth looking at.
That is a considerable saving.
Thea, you can fly, correct?
I'm not fast, but I can fly.
I mean, I don't think fast matters if you're descending.
Are we going down or up?
Oh, I don't remember. Are we going up the mountain or down the mountain?
You're going. Well, if you take this route, you'd almost be going through. It's kind of through a crevice. But you are cresting. You're close to cresting one side, and then you'll be going back down.
Gotcha.
About 2/3 of the way up at this point.
I mean,
I suppose the question would be, is not so much the distance saved as the time saved. Would we save time? I assume climbing is going to be somewhat slower.
It would be going through instead of around. So the
potentially
distance
faster.
is
Yes.
yes. We could potentially be to our location much faster. Do you have a way to fly, Teffin?
Fly? No. I can let myself and 4 others down easy.
falling with style.
I could carry the gnome. Not certain if I could carry you.
Tevin, do I know that you sleep in a bucket?
By this point,
Reagan knows you sleep in a
Probably.
bucket.
I mean, at this
I think
point,
I've seen it.
I have at least. At this point, I have at least. You've probably seen him in one of the tubs, in one of the rooms that we have stayed in. Probably.
'Cause if you want to do your puddle thing in the bucket, I could carry the bucket.
that's. And Eric, I could. I don't think I would be able to carry you for very long.
I have the ability to go short distances. It's not ideal, but with a little bit of assistance from flyers, I believe that I could probably manage.
Well, okay, I have a thought. What if those who can fly, we do so, and then Teffin, you do your slow falling thingy. Do you think that would
That only helps on
reduce
the way
your
down.
weight?
I believe that I would be all right for short distances, and I can make myself lighter, so I can effectively use one of you who is flighted as guidance.
Let's see. Let me just double check my spell book here. I don't think I have anything for this. Come on, open. I don't know when this app started doing ads, but it's driving me nuts. Nope, I don't have anything for that. I mean, we could give it a try. At the very least, it would allow us to know if that's an option or not.
Certainly. Ren kind of gestures up the trail. We have about another 1.5 miles up. There'll be a throughway that we can cut through the rocks. If we fly it, it will be significantly easier, but we can climb it if things fail as far as the flight.
All right, well, why don't we head up there and give it a shot?
All right. So you guys head up through this canyon. Anything you're discussing on the way? Anything like that for your 1.5 mile stroll?
Mhm.
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
What object is this? The orb we're going after?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
So as you approach this very tall crevice, just looks like it has been cut through the mountains, but it looks like it was cut by something larger than life, as if like a giant axe had just come down over the whole mountain range. You can see, like, below there is just a fall for ages, but there are spaces where you can climb the edge, and some of it's wide enough that you can actually like legitimately walk, but then it'll fade down into a space where you have to climb along the wall sideways to get to where you're going, and it goes on for probably about, like, if you had to guess, it would probably be about 1.5 miles out.
Okay, well, do we want to go ahead and try this?
All right.
Paul turns into a cheetah. Cheetahs are
I guess that
fantastic climbers.
will
That's
also it also
just
will reduce
Start
the
making
weight
my
of
way
your.
through.
Yeah, you will no longer be carrying your weaponry and stuff. So
Ren, having forgot that you can do this, is just like, oh shit! um, goodness, what? Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
He is impressed. That's like surprisingly smart for Paul.
Yeah, this is good. I can work with this. With this, I believe I could probably carry the bucket and the cat if the cat isn't just jetting out over the crevasse.
Oh no, the cat's literally going across the crevasse. I'm starting to climb.
Oh
Oh.
goodness.
So,
I'm going to fly close by.
so
that's I think
Tefin
that
takes
is
his work
wise.
belt off, puts it in the bucket, takes his armor off, puts it in the bucket, starts to take his clothes off and put them in the bucket until he is just buck ass naked because he has to be. And then he puts one foot in the bucket and his whole form just sort of liquefies and flows into the bucket around all of his gear.
Sploosh.
And then an arm kind of reaches up and does this before going back down into the liquid form.
You know, that is still no less concerning than it was the first time.
Thea finds this mountain range over here very interesting and just goes, it's like living in a frat house.
When was the last time you were at the frat house?
I mean, never, but I've read about them in books.
Ah. I didn't see you as the frat house type.
No.
No. This is more my type, Eric says.
That I could see.
But
Eric-
was I wrong?
No. Most certainly not. So Eric kind of, it almost seems like his lower body, somebody turns the transparency down just a little bit. And he takes on a little bit of a metallic sheen to him almost. Ren will unfold this massive set of celestial wings. Most of the time when you've seen this, they have been white. These kind of ombre to black at the tips. And he looks around and grabs the bucket. All right, ready, friend. And kicks up into the air. And Eric does this thing that looks like almost skating ahead. As the rest of you start your flight, and Ren tries to catch up to the crazy cheetah.
I can take Eric's arm and give him some height if that actually helps.
Actually, yes, that helps quite a bit.
Okay, perfect.
So that gives him the ability to kind of he'll skate a ways and then start to lose some of the altitude. And like if there's a reasonable lift from time to time, he's able to do a pretty good job with that. Let's see. So Paul, make me a dex save.
Okay. Let me pull up cheetah stats.
As a cheetah.
Cheetah dex, cheetah dex.
Let's see here. Ooh, that's an 8.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Okay. So out of your periphery, those of you in flight, you see this cheetah leap. Would you like to narrate how this goes?
No, Danny, I would love to see your imagination on how exactly Paul fucks this up. To be
You see, like the first few steps seem to go really well for you, but that does kind of instill a false sense of confidence in your footing. And your depth perception in this like moment of absolute fabulous like freedom, I get to run. Your depth perception fools you. This is an odd looking place, like kind of the glowing obsidians and all of that's in this cutaway crevice is really messing with your eyes. You leap with such confidence out to what you are sure is the next ledge, and there ain't nothing there. It's just a whiff. Might as well be doing a swan dive into a lake. So you see this cheetah just wah, and start to fall. Let me see if Ren can get you.
How far is he fall? Like how high up is he?
Yeah. So how far is the drop? Is it like a really significant drop?
It's a significant drop.
And there's nothing around me that like I can reach out to grab. Correct.
So
It is like purely open space that I have dove into.
so in the bucket of goo, a set of lips form, and then a pair of hands come out and waggle, and there's some arcane words spoken, and Tefn casts Featherfall on the cheetah.
Well, you might not actually have time to do that because if I
It is a reaction. Yes, I can.
Oh, well, okay, never mind.
Well, what were you gonna say?
Well, like if clearly like I missed it and there's like nowhere for me to grab to find purchase, like I'm just gonna turn back into Paul and do my immovable rod.
Oh, that does make sense. That does make sense. I guess.
Did you finish my belt with the rod on it?
No, I've got one more crafting, I think, to be able to finish it, but I have not had the opportunity to finish it yet.
So it's like in your belt.
Yeah. So I would just click it and then hold. But yeah, I mean, if you cast that faster, that's fine. But yeah, if not, then I would just do that and couldn't click the movable rod.
You guys both roll me dex saves on this to see which one of you moves faster. Because both of those are awesome reactions.
22.
Holy crap.
Beats my 19, so.
So now there is a Paul hanging by an immovable rod just below where he was falling.
Okay.
Let's see.
So I don't actually cast the spell then.
Yeah, save that slot.
Oh, I'm a gnome.
Okay. I'll just fly over to Paul and scoop him up. I'm not very strong, but how much do gnomes weigh? Like 20, 30 pounds?
Yeah.
I could probably carry.
You got your stuff, but yeah. Roll me a strength check.
Like bridal style. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Roll me an athletics check. It's not going to be a super high DC.
Yeah, I'm just gonna guidance myself.
That's probably a solid plan.
11.
You needed to hit a 10 there. since he's a gnome. So you're good. You're good.
Well, it's a -1. So.
Yes. All right. So you are able to scoop Paul up. Maybe this makes up for you stealing from him. We'll see.
Didn't steal.
I know this, and you know this. Paul doesn't know this. All right. So
I got you, Paul. I got you.
Paul
now
says
you're
no.
princess carrying Paul. I just can imagine him kicking his little feet on the way through. You guys all roll me either an acrobatics or well, actually, for those of you who can fly, how far do you have flight?
20 feet.
Hey. That's your
Leads
speed?
from me. Yes, that's my flight speed.
Does it have on your item how far you can go?
No.
Is it a spell you cast?
No, it's that cloak.
Okay.
I can only fly because of the cloak.
Yeah, does it have a duration? It's more likely a duration.
Not that I wrote down on my sheet, but I can look in the text and see if you sent that to me.
I might have oopsed that if I didn't send you a duration.
It has 5 more feet after you pick up Paul. And then Paul is clicking the immovable rod and holding you as well.
We go on full Looney Tunes mode.
Yeah. We're going to Wile E. Coyote it all the way to the bottom.
I mean, I would enjoy watching that as the DM. It would be a fun.
Honestly, it wouldn't be the stupidest thing Paul's done in this campaign. So
Far from it, actually.
no, firing himself from a trebuchet into
That was
essentially space was.
yeah. It just says grants you flight speed of 20 feet, and then at night I can summon the moon moth, the lunar moth. But
Okay. I think that I've got to revise that so that there's something there. I'm going to say probably it's going to end up being like can stay for like an hour or something like that. Eden, do you have flight limitations or do you just have a general flight speed since you've got wings? I forget how we did that. You are muted just in case you didn't know. You might not be sitting at the table right now.
We lost Eden.
We lost Eden.
not Eden. Come back to us.
Okay, we'll figure that out. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I missed a message. Apparently, his son is screaming, and he has to go take him because he won't let Natalie touch him.
Fair
So
enough.
that might take a minute. So we will say that you guys have the flight necessary to make it like if you're flying 1.5 miles and it's a straight line, I imagine this is going to be less than an hour. So I think that you probably all are able to get through to the other side all right. As long as there's not any kind of mid-air shenaniganery that is happening here.
Surprisingly, nothing from Paul.
You just quiet.
He's just very quiet and kind of staring off into the darkness.
He had a real rough day. It's been a rough morning for Paul already. Okay. Setting down on the opposite side of the mountains, you can tell that you can understand why the Celestials have not chosen to habitate farther out than this. The storms are churning violently, and there is a mixture of lightning and what appears to be like magical explosions happening in the clouds themselves. And through the valley, you're able to see what looks like things. There are bioluminescent animals popping in and out of your field of vision. There's heavy rain still coming down in spurts around you, and very, very heavy wind that is just whipping everything around you very violently. So, looking out over the valley, you become aware that across from this space that you're in, there is what looks like an explosion that keeps happening and then pulling into itself and happening again and sending out shock waves of visible light in different colors every time it goes through one of these series of explosions. Things around it seem to be appearing and disappearing as it oscillates. And you also hear a screech farther back from that, and the sounds of fighting. It is hard to see, it's from a distance, but you can see movement in the space beyond where that large ball of energy is shaping and reshaping and untangling and retangling. And it does look like there is something coming towards you. It is not close yet. There are things chasing it that look humanoid.
How far away would you say it is?
Right now, you're probably looking out about another 1.5 miles.
Let's see.
Okay, so I assume we've reached the other side of the pass. So
Yes.
I will go ahead and pull myself back together, reclothe myself, and drape myself in all of my accoutrements.
Pull yourself together, man.
So while he's doing that, I have one of my aspect of the beast is eagle vision. I can see up to 1 mile away with no difficulty at all and can discern every fine detail as though it was something that was no more than 100 feet away. Can I try to make a perception check since it's 1.5 miles away to see if I can kind of figure out what's coming towards us?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't have great perception, but so now we roll. Nope. Not 91.
No,
I'm blind.
no, you can't.
I have lost my eyesight.
Yeah.
Like the wind whips into your face and just throws some of the
My
dust.
cloak just right up into my face.
Just right through there. Absolutely. So yeah, it does look, I will say, well, I don't know.
Nat 1.
Yeah,
on.
Nat 1. Yeah, you got nothing. You got nothing but cloak.
Hey, look, guys.
If anybody else,
I'm gonna send Archimedes full speed
nice.
out there. He can go 300. He can go farther than that, but he can go 300 feet, and I can see through his eyes.
Okay, so he's gonna end up, because of this being farther out, this will end up being more of a him reporting back to you thing, because he can only see through your eyes up to 300 feet. Or vice versa. That came out of my mouth backwards. You knew what I meant. So he does a big swoop over the terrain and back in. And what you see is what looks like several people, Renethri people, chasing after a beast that seems to have an orb in its clutches. But there's more than that. I'll send you a picture of the beastie. There's more than that happening. It looks as though this has been a fight that has been happening for a while now. So there are already downed people and downed creatures through the sides. And it almost looks like this is a race at this point to where are my boards? It almost looks like this is a race to try and control this thing that they are carrying. Where'd we go? Sorry, apparently I forgot how to use my Pinterest for just a second. Come on. Come on. Go to my boards, please. I want to show them the things. There we go. Okay. There are these things. Come on. There we go. There are two of those. One of them has what looks to be an orb, and is in pursuit of something. It is trying to get out. And they are being followed by probably like 5 other people that you can see right now. And there are a trail of people and creatures left in its wake.
You said how many people are chasing it?
5.
This thing looks like the love child of H.P. Lovecraft and Robert Heinlein.
Yeah.
It's like Starship
it.
Troopers met. No.
Well, I don't
It
like
looks
it.
like one of those things from the Edge of Tomorrow.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I guess it does, doesn't it? Yep. Yeah, so that is what is charging up towards the mountain where you guys are at the moment.
Well, I feel bad for it because it probably didn't expect to run into a group of badass fighters.
I feel bad for it because Paul's about to like go through a midlife crisis or something. Paul's going through some issues.
He's seen things, man. He's seen things. All right. So they are actively pursuing this thing. You do see, it seems like they are spellcasters that are following and are trying to attack it. It is doing damage, but they are not able to down this thing on their own. It seems as though there's a lot of like battlefield confusion happening currently, and you are able to witness this pretty well from where Archimedes is looking on. Like you can see at a distance, but it doesn't make sense. But knowing once Archimedes like is able to come back to you, kind of knowing how that looks is now it all makes sense. The distant things that you're seeing, but they are making their way to you, so you are seeing it more clearly as it gets closer.
What's the like terrain? Are we out of the crevasse totally
You're out
now?
of the crevasse. This is kind of, it is a valley, but it is a pretty craggy, rough valley. There are a lot of, they are running through an open space right now because they're big. They kind of need open space to run. But there are a lot of really gnarly trees. All of them have strange glowing things inside. Like it's kind of a really wild looking terrain. The areas that they are able to go through easily are the ones that are less wooded. So you do have some openness, but it is still difficult terrain.
Are we
Very
fighting this
craggy.
thing? I just look around. Are we fighting this thing?
I mean, it doesn't look friendly.
I should say not. I have a funny feeling, Eric was saying, like looking at the orb. I have a funny feeling that it's not supposed to have that.
Well, that's what we were here after, wasn't it?
Correct.
So we are fighting this thing.
Yes.
Over the top, boys! And I pull out my sword and I start running.
We're still like a mile away from it.
Paul is really fucking fast.
That is true.
Cool.
That is true.
Well, if any of the rest of us want to kind of strategize a little bit, maybe.
I was going to let it get closer and then start taking pot shots at it with...
Sure. Is there an area where, like, it's going to kind of maybe the openness narrows a little bit?
There
I'd
is
like to-
actually.
You know, that black hole that I can kind of conjure?
Yeah.
My plan is if there's an area where it funnels in a little bit, like right before it runs into it, I'll pop that black hole out
Nice.
and put it right there. Which it's probably going to get Paul because Paul's running at it now. But
Well, it's still like a mile away from me, right?
Yeah, you got a minute.
Yeah, so Paul's just running after this thing, trying to close distance. It will take me at full speed with me doing my dash and the bonus action with my Eagle Totem stuff, 50 rounds to cover a mile.
Now, does that include the fact that it's coming at us?
No, that's the mile that distance I would have to cover. So if it's fast as well, you can imagine that it's going to take me like 25 rounds.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Think of like the scene from Monty Python's The Holy Grail when he's running at the castle.
Yep.
And it's just like a constant over and over again. Like, I don't feel like I'm closing the gap.
I mean, the gap is closing, but slowly. Yep.
Yeah.
the range on it's 150 feet, so I got to get up there myself.
Yeah. Yeah, your genie friend and Ren are both going to do the same. Ren actually takes out an arrow and pulls out his bow and shoots the arrow, and you see as it strikes a tree way on down the line, it teleports him to where he just shot.
Well, that's a nice
cool.
trick.
I want one of those.
Right?
So he ends up ahead of you guys, like kind of looking up and waiting.
Paul is legit impressed. Like, how the hell did this guy get there that fast? I thought I was fast.
Magica! So he is in wait now. Your genie friend is fast, but not Paul fast, so he's trailing behind. And I think neither of you are as fast as either of them.
No, I've got 35, so assuming I use my movement and my action to dash, I can make 70 feet around.
So in Cinemode, you guys are running to meet this threat. You do see some of the people that are trailing after these beasts. As you get close enough to them to see what's going on, they're turning into different beasts trying to attack this thing, or even just like catch up with it in some cases, trying to overcome it. And they're really struggling. Like, there has already been damage done. You see a couple more of these beasts already back that have been downed. But it does not look like this was met with a large force of people. It looks like these things came upon scouts, and this band of scouts is what has been trying to deal with it. Kind of, out on a normal patrol almost of their own territory. These guys are having to try and tend to this, and they were not planning on it. They were definitely... There's some surprise and haphazardness that would imply they were caught off guard pretty severely. So over the course of a couple of minutes, you guys see these things getting closer and being funneled slowly in towards a gap in the trees before it hits a navigable place up one of the canyons that breaks up the mountain range. And you can see as one of them turns around and bats at one of these creatures that no, the creatures bat at the people, sorry. And one of the people goes flying into a pile of debris that looks like it has been left there untouched for a little too long. They crash into it, and the beast continues running. You are now getting within range of ranged spells and weapons.
Okay.
I'm gonna queue up the Hunger of Hadar, and have it ready to drop it in kind of that area that we talked about. But I'm gonna wait until the last minute because I don't want it to see it and then change course.
I mean, as soon
Makes
as I'm within about 300 feet, there's a click and a whir, and the gem in my chest plate sort of starts to glow, and I'm gonna start firing at it. At 300 feet, I am unfortunately at long range, so it is at disadvantage, but got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So first shot goes wide with an 8.
Oof.
Second shot with a 10.
Not quite.
And then I'll move forward and just keep firing away.
All right. I forgot to have you guys roll initiative. Everybody can kind of take their, I guess, surprise rounds. It's not
I'm just-
exactly a surprise, but
I'm just running at it. I probably haven't closed the distance yet, so
fair enough. Thea, do you want to shoot for something? Oh, you're waiting for Hunger of Hadar.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're holding your action.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my initiative.
Oh, oof, oof. Yeah, you guys go
21.
ahead and roll initiative. I know you won't be there quite as quick as everybody else is attacking, Paul, but go ahead and roll me your initiative.
Yeah, I'm
What
at
is that?
21.
21, Paul. 5, Teffin. I'm gonna shoot Steven a message real quick. Just so he knows to roll up when he's able to. We'll keep him in Cinemode until he returns for realsies. Head back. What's yours, Thea?
16.
And my bad guys. Let me pick a different dice. Oh, that was good. My good guys. Oh, that was really good.
We need to get another one. This one is falling apart.
I have a version PDF on my other iPad.
Mm.
I need to download it.
And Nat 20 from the Druids. Okay, and I'm just gonna run them as Oof. That nat 20 did not help them when it came to their performance rolls. Okay, so you see the pack of druids kind of trying to close in on this thing, and one of them makes a leap for it. You can tell that they're trying to make a coordinated effort as they go on the fly. One swings through, misses completely, allowing space for the other one to get flung to the side as well. Although he does land on his feet and he's able to continue moving forward. One of the trailing ones tries to change into a bear to create more mass to hopefully run in front of the thing and stop it. It does not succeed and ends up kind of tumbling over the top of this thing. And then Paul, you are getting closer and closer by the second. You are probably able to close the distance by this point. Like,
Okay.
you're in... Because you've got, like, a ridiculous amount of...
Yeah, I can move 105 feet around if I'm, like, going full speed.
Yeah. Is that with a dash?
Yeah, that's everything. Like, no, I won't have an action or a reaction after the.
So you can... Yeah. You can close the distance on this one. You might have to wait one more to get your action in.
Okay. I will not go the full 105 at the last moment when I'm closing that gap to just reserve my reaction.
Okay.
Just in case it gets to me.
Makes sense. All right. And that is bad guy's turn.
How fast are they moving?
They are moving, when they're not attacking, they're moving 80 feet.
Okay.
The attacks are slowing them up, so right now they're more hitting the 40 feet.
Okay.
Everybody's so fast.
Just
Yeah, it's just Paul, really.
Yeah, just Paul. Paul's kind of crazy that way.
Eric is fast because he's partially a genie, and Ren is fast because he's essentially like having a level 20 babysitter. But
Spoiler alert, my dude is not fast, he's lumbering.
but I feel like this is a good thing for the party. It stretches what they need.
Yes.
And also, the fastest one in the party is the Chaos Engine.
Yeah, exactly.
And part of why he's the Chaos Engine is because he's the fast one in the party. Yeah.
No.
The number
Ren
of times...
and Eric are not always here with you guys, so everybody else is a little bit more balanced to you. Paul just has all the stupid. In multiple ways.
Paul brings the fight to us a lot of times.
Yes.
Just keeping you guys on your toes.
Exactly. And Paul, you are about to have to deal with this guy. You are going to be attacked by those tentacles. So you've got Tentacle Swarm. Okay. Within 10 feet of it. Okay. So, what we got? Does a... Oh yeah, that's gonna hit. That's above a 20. I'm assuming that hits.
Yeah, that absolutely hits.
Okay. D8.
So he's closed the distance.
Yes, so you can use a
Well,
reaction.
I just want to bone it, my bonus action in range.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is going to do... Oh, and you're small, so that's going to be interesting. Okay, so on the initial bludgeoning damage, it's going to be 10 points.
Okay.
And then I'm going to need you to make me a grapple check. So an athletics
Okay.
or acrobatics.
That'll be a 25.
25. Okay, so you do save. You are not grappled. You do not take necrotic damage. Good job. The other one is going to attack the good guys. And fails miserably. It is trying to hold on to the orb in its face, and it is not doing a great job of multitasking. Okay, Thea.
So I said that I was holding Hunger of Hadar to drop this black hole, but Paul has just run into battle without consulting anybody. Do I have to drop this now?
I mean, you are
It doesn't
holding an
matter.
action. You're holding an action, so it's like you're waiting for the trigger. I would say that if you see something that makes that trigger void, you're not like required to drop that spell anymore.
But
That's
I would lose the spell slot still, right?
Nope.
no.
No? Okay.
That's a homebrew thing that Matt Mercer does.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not like a D&D thing.
Well, I mean, okay. I guess I will I kind of want to drop this and make you take damage.
Do it. I don't care.
Two can play at the Chaos Engine game.
That's not a very good teammate, but you're not being a very good teammate either. I will hex the one that Paul is fighting. And will throw an Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. So that is 22 and a non-natural 20.
Those will both hit.
Wait. 1d10. That's the wrong one. And then Hex does an additional d6. Okay, so 4, 5, 10 points of damage.
Okay. That's gonna take that one down 10. Good deal.
And then just if there's, I mean, I guess with what movement I have, just guess get myself in the best position for whatever attack is going to come next.
Good deal. Good deal. All right. Tevin.
Okay. I figure I'm still about 230 feet out, so I'm going to try to make these lightning launcher attacks again. Still at disadvantage, however. Oof. 21?
21 will hit.
All
Which one are you
right.
going for? The one that's already
The one holding
being
the orb.
damaged? Oh, okay, good.
For 9 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
And second attack, oh, this is not going to go well, is going to be a 14.
That actually is the button.
Oh, I rolled 2 sevens. So it was meant to be. And that will be another 5 points of lightning damage.
All right.
And then I'm going to move up another 35 feet.
All right. So we have lost to Steven. He sent me a message. Apparently, Alex is being quite
Feisty.
difficult tonight. So we are down to Steven. So forgive me as I make some edits on the fly.
Do what you gotta
No,
do.
I am actually going to bow out myself because I am currently become a baby mattress and I've got work at 7 in the morning. My
Oh.
wife.
Yeah. Shoot me, if you don't mind, shoot me a description of your character, so that I can, if you would like, I can like bring him in and have them be visible at the end, and then we can pull you into the next session.
You mean just like a physical appearance? Or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
well, I mean, if we were planning on having him enter in at this fight, like we can call it here and just play the next game and just pick up at the beginning of the fight.
Would you like to be involved in the fight?
I mean, I think it makes sense for this to be a good part to do that at, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
So, I mean, because
Yeah.
if we're going to be down, if we're going to be down 2 players, I mean, it's basically half the party. So we
Yeah.
might as well just,
Might
Yeah.
as well.
I mean, one of them hasn't entered into the party yet, but
yeah, but
yeah.
still,
Since
know.
we've lost to Steven, that might be a good way to go.
Yeah, we're down
Pull him back
25%
in
of the
town.
active players, so
Yeah.
Right.
That
Yeah,
works.
no, I think I say why don't we just pick it back up at the very beginning of the fight on the next game,
Cool.
okay.
and
That
so we
sounds
can
good.
just like re-roll initiative and just start at that point.
That sounds good. That sounds good. And it gives me a little bit of time to get some stuff taken care of. Do we want to try and make a December weekend?
I am not opposed to it, but I know it
December's
can be
gonna
difficult.
be like really
Yeah.
busy, but I mean I can make time. I'm gonna be home anyway.
Right.
So
If you want to throw out just some days to see what works for everybody, if we can make it work, great.
Yeah.
If not, we can just come back January and just
Yeah.
do it then.
Okay. There might only be